Good morning. Merry Christmas. Today is the big reveal. At the end of this, we will show off the Brick Whisperers Winter Christmas Village, I should say. But hey, today, despite the hat, I understand the hat says Bah Humbug. In my opinion, Bah Humbug just represents one of my favorite literary characters when it comes to Christmas, Ebenezer Scrooge. Don't get the hat wrong. I love Christmas. This is my favorite time of year, especially today. Today I am wearing my Buon Natale t-shirt, which is Italian for Merry Christmas. And as such, today's all, like I said, one of my favorites because today we get to celebrate with the Italian tradition, the Feast of the Seven Fishes. I can't wait until this evening. But before we get there, and before I just lose myself in all of that seafood, we're going to knock out those last few sets for the Winter Village. There is, if I am not mistaken, one, pardon me, that won't be getting added to the Winter Village. It'll get displayed with the rest of the Christmas sets that are off to the side. But I digress. We're finishing the village today. It's about time, right? I don't know how many of y'all have been sitting on pins and needles just waiting for this day. But today's the day. We're gonna knock it out. Once again, Lego has not given me anything. Bricks and Minifigs Avondale hasn't given me anything. I have no sponsors as of yet, except for Mrs. Brick Whisperer, who consistently has some awesome ideas as it pertains to the Winter Village. But on the flip side of that, and I made a comment about this last week, we were going through the store, and all of a sudden she came to an abrupt stop to look at all the Lego displays. And I just looked at her and I said, "Come on, you've got a problem, almost as bad as mine." So the fact that she is starting to really get into this, I love it. It warms my heart. I could not have asked for a better partner in life to take care of my craziness and my hobbies. Mrs. Brick Whisperer is truly amazing to me. So today we're going to knock out our very first set, which is going to be, boom, set number 40603, the Winter Carriage Ride. Fun little set. I just happened to have found it sitting at Bricks and Minifigs Avondale. And I thought, what a great addition to the village. Mrs. Brick Whisperer agreed. And one of the reasons why this had to become one of the final sets for the build was because I had to wait on a minifig. Now, what's great is we had family in town not too long ago, and we had taken a break from what we were building. And when I say what we were building, hopefully, if technology allows it, you'll see what I'm talking about tomorrow. But he needed a break, and so I came in, I started building this, and he had asked how long it was going to take for me to build. I told him, 15 minutes tops. Oddly enough, and he started laughing because it took me 9 minutes, and he just sat there with his eyes wide open, his jaw dropped, because he couldn't believe how fast I had knocked it out. I probably could have gone faster, I just chose not to. So, what do you say? We just jump in. Here we go. All right, nice and organized. The horse is done. The figs are done. It's time to get this carriage knocked out. So, the Winter Village, or the Winter Carriage Ride, excuse me, released on the 1st of December of 2023, and it only lasted the month, retiring on the 31st of December of 2023. This was a GWP, a gift with purchase. 153 parts, 9 minutes. Did not take very long at all. But why not have a little horse-drawn carriage, pulling folks through the Winter Village. Love the colors of the dark green and the dark red. I thought that that looks amazing together. And boom. What else can I say? Aside from quick build. A quick, fast, short build to add to the Winter Village. So, hey, why not knock it out of the park as quickly as we can? Now, this set is not being added to the Winter Village, but it is being added to our side builds that we have on display over here by the door. Kind of, more of that festive look. And I am talking about, boom, set number, where'd it go? 40292, the Christmas gift box. So, another quick and easy build. Let's just zip right through this. Here we go. And once again, all organized nice and neatly. We have ourselves the Christmas gift box, originally released on the 1st of November of 2018 and retired on the 31st of December of the same year. 301 parts, taking me all of 16 minutes to complete. This was also a gift with purchase. And the reason why this one took a little while for me to eventually get to was I had laid everything out, getting ready to build it, and it was at that point I noticed I was missing 2 parts. Well, dang. So I had to wait for those 2 parts to arrive. And anybody who knows me knows that I am what you would call a purist. I am not a fan of replacing parts with something that does not belong with the set. So, now, yeah, sure, I will modify sometimes. But if I can help it, I do not make substitutions. So this was a cool little set because in one manner, it is a gift box. And you can pop off the lid. It swings open, as you see right there. And then you have your a little Christmas scene on the inside. Knock out the bow really quick. So here's the set displayed, completely closed, obviously. So, and I've heard of mixed reactions with this set, especially the color scheme. I have a friend of mine who wants to try and swap out all of that sand green for dark green. I think that'll look pretty cool as well. So here momentarily we will have it opened up, showing off the inside. And there it is. You got the child playing with the train over by the fireplace. What I would assume would be Dad sitting in his chair over by the tree. Just a fun little Christmas morning. Okay, so now that's built, that's put off to the side. Now it's time for, don't let the verbiage fool you, okay? This isn't the final build, it's the final big build. And what am I referring to? I am referring to, boom, set number 10308, Holiday Main Street. I don't even know if this is all in frame. Okay, yep, it is. So this was a fun little set, and this was one of those sets that Mrs. Brick Whisperer had found, and I think it was the trolley that's in the set that got her mostly excited for it. Now, for the time being, that trolley is sharing the same track as the winter holiday train. Who knows what 2026 is going to bring? So we'll just have to wait and see what happens next year. But in the meantime, let's get this set knocked out. Here we go. So, I think I've said this in the past, one, there's nothing like brand new sets, and boy, am I happy that the instruction books were not all rolled and twisted and bent. But there's something about the brand new sets that I just really really enjoy. On the flip side, though, vast majority of the time when I get to build, I generally try to knock it out in first thing in the morning. But when everybody is asleep, it seems like that's when the Lego pieces and the cellophane bags decide to be their loudest. That's the part that is a little crazy to me. So the Holiday Main Street, yet again one of the Winter Village collection, part of the Icons theme. This set was released on the 3rd of October of 2022, retired on the 31st of December of 2024 with a recommended retail price of $100. A fun set. It throws in additional shops to the whole Winter Village. We've already, we have the bakery already. We have the train station. So it almost starts to beg the question: what else are people, where else are they shopping? So this build adds to that. And right here I am building the trolley. The trolley was a cool little build because sure, we could throw some of the minifigs from the set onto the trolley and they can just cruise around town, whatever. But I thought that this was a comical little build because it advertises for the stores of this set. One store being H. Jolly's Music Store, another one being Santa's Toys and Games. So, the trolley advertising those local businesses, I thought was a nice little touch. And the detail of this particular set was really cool. Making the trolley as well as they did. Now, on top of that, there's instructions for this to also become motorized. Now, I have no idea if Mrs. Brick Whisperer is going to want me to motorize this. We will pass that bridge when we get there. And if that ends up being the case, I would imagine I'm going to have to buy more track. So we'll see what happens. And pray that both trolley and train do not collide with each other, because that would be bad. We go from a Christmas miracle to a Christmas disaster. Let's avoid that at all costs. Alright, so now we're starting to work on the first of the two buildings, which would be H. Jolly's Music Store. So this build I enjoyed because of all the different instruments they decided to throw in there. There's a saxophone propped up by the door. There's a drum set on the wall, basically on the opposite side of the wall of the one that you could see. Oh, there we go. I just flipped it around, so you can make out the drum set a little bit there. There is a guitar and a violin in the window. So bravo, Lego, on making this look like a music store. There's also like a basket or a bin or whatever, and it's holding what could be construed as either violin, bows, or drumsticks. You have the snow elements there. I liked the drain pipe design that they put on the corner of the building. Thought that was a fun little addition. Little kitchen area. Think of it, I like to think of it as the break room for said music store. start working on the roof, and this is one of those roofs where it looks like snow has been collecting, which is one of those details for the Winter Village that I am a huge fan of. And now we're jumping onto the Toys and Games store. So I believe I had said that this set was 1,514 pieces. This set took me almost an hour 45 to put together. And, I got the time lapse going. We could be sitting here the entire time, and I could just ramble and ramble on and put you to sleep. But let's not do that. So this is a cool set because it has a little stuffed rabbit in the front window there. There's a train on the other. I believe there's also a toy soldier and some other toys throughout the store. So some of the detail that they have been throwing into these sets, absolutely amazing. Now the garland here, that was kind of it messed with me a little bit, but ultimately I win. Haha. Moving on to the second floor, almost like a little apartment. I say almost, and what do? I just threw a bed in there. Now, unlike most of the icon kits, this one does not. This one did not come with a light kit, or not a light kit, a light brick. Excuse me. So no light brick in this one, but plenty of ways to modify. Like I was talking about earlier with the trolley, you can motorize it, and even motorizing it, you're able to include a couple of lights. Now I am sure that Mrs. Brick Whisperer is going to find the light kit for this particular set. So let's see how everything looks next year. And there it is, folks. Got the kid dropping off a letter to Santa in the mailbox. Cool looking storefronts. There's the trolley. Wasn't necessarily a big fan of the wreath on, I believe there's one on both sides of the trolley. Wasn't necessarily a fan of those. But there it is. Alright, so now we just have two small builds to knock out really quick. And this one was not originally planned. This one kind of fell into our laps. So this particular set, boom! Set number 66029666, Skaters in the Park. And as you saw from the box, this was a Barnes & Noble, not a sponsor, exclusive. You can only get it there. And when I had told Mrs. Brick Whisperer about this set, she thought, her initial reaction to me was, get it. So I did. And so we're going to knock out this quick build. Here we go. All right, let's bust open the new box. Like I said, you can only get this from Barnes & Noble. They were only available in the month of November. So I do not have an official release date or an official retirement date. Just that it was an exclusive simply for Barnes & Noble. 150 parts, takes me about 10 minutes. And much like the other two sets, Mrs. Brick Whisperer really liked this one because, hey, there's movement. You can have folks skating. So Mrs. Brick Whisperer really did enjoy this one as well. Pardon me. Alright, so we have gotten the little bench in the back done, the little snowman. I think we're now putting the tree together. And probably the one part Mrs. Brick Whisperer really loves is the squirrel. I think it has something to do with her ooh shiny, because everything catches her attention at the most inopportune times. But there it is. And so with that, we're just one set away. One set away, and I could show off the entire Winter Village. Now, this next set, Mrs. Brick Whisperer had seen it online, and she was very adamant that we add this as well. Okay, but this is what you want. So this will be the final build before the big reveal. And I am talking about, boom, set number 40778, the Winter Gazebo. So this was a cool little set. So let's just stop talking. Let's just get it done. Here we go. Shh, we have to be quiet. That cellophane and Lego parts are very, very loud first thing in the morning. All right, so you see me wearing my Army football jersey, much like in the last build. The reason why was I was putting this together before the Army-Navy game. It was one of those things, I was just sitting around, had absolutely nothing to do. Let's get it built. So 40778, the Winter Gazebo. This set was just released at the beginning of December. No announced retirement date. This was a gift with purchase. 245 pieces, takes me about 15 minutes. As you see, I've already got the railing done. I've already got the tree done. I believe there were a couple of, yes, there are gifts, but they will be placed later. And now it's time to put together the roof. So this was one of those builds that, it's just one of those hangout spots that Mrs. Brick Whisperer wanted added to our winter village, and that is just fine. One of the cool things about this particular set is there is a young lady minifig in there with a printed on hearing aid. So, I think that little addition to some of the minifigs nowadays is a very, very cool one. And so there is the build. We've got the little band there playing music, and this little girl in the middle there with the microphone, she has a hearing aid. So very, very cool set. So all of the builds are done. Like I had said before, all of the builds are done, and no more building for the year of 2025. It is time for the big reveal. Are you ready? Let's check it out. And here we go. So I'm doing my very best to keep this whole thing still. And there goes the trolley. There's the train and the station. And here is the entire village. And there's Mrs. Brick Whisperer. So, what do you think of your village?
I love it. It's adorable. So it's a little bustling, a little busier than any sort of village I would go shopping in, but it's adorable. And it's got super cute things, like this guy has a light.
Do you remember what else lit up?
Um,
It's okay if you don't.
no,
It's not that tree.
Oh, like do I remember what else lights up in the whole thing?
Correct.
Yeah, there's a tree somewhere. Is it this guy over here?
It is that guy.
He lights up.
So, You and I have already started discussing what we are going to do for next year. We're more likely going to have to move this whole thing because, obviously the train cannot go around in a circle because the train track ends there. We had to keep it straight for the front. It ends right behind the Santa's post office. You had discussed me using light kits to light these up.
I definitely want to order some light kits to light up some of the houses and the Christmas tree. I think the trolley lights up. I think that has a light kit too.
Well, oddly enough, both the trolley and the train
Okay.
can be motorized.
And then there's that. As far as adding more stuff, I know we've already ordered more stuff. And if Lego can actually put out more icons, houses, we'll definitely be buying more because I really like those.
Look at that face. Tell me she's not excited for this. She loves it.
But we talked about having to buy a new piece of furniture just to make it all.
Just
Okay,
to make
we
it all
didn't talk
work.
about it. I said we needed more.
You see, folks, every single time that Mrs. Brick Whisperer comes up with the phrase of, I've been thinking, it means that I am probably going to be fixing, building, or buying something.
It's usually more like, hey, I was looking online. Hey, I was online. So you keep talking about in a video, somewhere in here there's a person buried in the snow in one of these little.
So yes, there are some little Easter eggs throughout here. So for example, the person buried in the snow. Did you find them?
No.
You
No,
have
I
not
didn't.
found them.
But I've been working a lot, and I haven't had a lot of time to stand over here.
Okay, so are you ready?
Sure.
The person buried in the snow is over here.
Oh, this guy?
Yep. Did you find the husky?
There's a puppy?
There is a husky in here.
I didn't know to look for one.
So these are just some of the little cutesy things that I knew that Mrs. Brick Whisperer was going to love. You're close. You're hot.
There's a wiggle butt right there.
Right there, yep. And the reason why I knew that she was going to love the husky is because Mr. Lobo here is half husky.
Hi, sir.
Was that Buddy? And
Yeah, hi,
he
people.
just loves the camera.
Hi.
So yes, like I had said before, the Alpine Lodge was a Mrs. Brick Whisperer find. And I know for a fact that she loves the little squirrel chilling right there on the railing. There is the squirrel over here on the Barnes and Noble set. Let me move the trolley out of the way. And I know how much
He's got a little nut.
and he has a little nut. I know that she really finds the gingerbread babies adorable. And they're right there in the carriage and on the horse. Did she notice the polar bear I hid in here?
Uh-oh, Lobo. There's a polar bear right here.
Yep, there's a polar bear just hiding right there. So Mrs. Brick Whisperer is extremely happy. I've got to come up with something to hide the surface of the table. But considering this is probably going to be on another piece of furniture next year, we will see. So, any last words for the village that you want to say?
No. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Buon Natale! And so that was the village. We had such a great time getting that all put together, and Mrs. Brick Whisperer absolutely loves it. Could not ask for a better better display. And as stated in that reveal, we're looking at adding some light kits, we're adding some landscaping, we're adding potentially motors, and there's already 3 sets behind me waiting for next year. So stay tuned for that. So hey, with all that, I don't want to take any more of your Christmas away from you. God willing, the technology works for me so I can get the Christmas special uploaded tomorrow. And with that, please hit that like, subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with your family, share this with anybody you know that loves Lego, share this with anybody that loves winter Christmas villages. And with all that, we will see you when we see you. Buon Natale, Merry Christmas. Y'all have yourselves a great and wonderful holiday. Have a good one. Bye.